Есть продувка 30-й.
Inside 5 minutes.
70-й. Доклады принял, первый.
The temperature in Baikonur around 60 degrees Fahrenheit, clear skies, awaiting the liftoff of the Soyuz MS-27 and the next trio of residents to take up occupancy aboard the International Space Station. Coming up on the 4-minute mark in the count. Onboard systems now have been switched to onboard control. And the crew members are closing their helmets, their visors on their helmets, putting them on suit oxygen for the remainder of the countdown.
Baikonur launch.
T-minus 4 minutes and counting.
What is the status of the atmosphere? No clouds.
The fuel lines and the other elements of the rocket engines now being purged with nitrogen that fireproofs them by removing vapors of fuel and oxidizer from the base of the 2.1A booster. Once again, the launch precisely timed for the moment when the Earth's rotation places the cosmodrome in the plane or corridor of the orbit of the space station, inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator. A narrow phase angle for this launch of just 14.6 degrees to facilitate the two-orbit fast-track rendezvous. Coming up on the 2-minute, 30-second mark.
We see the commander and flight engineer. One.
The booster tank now being pressurized for flight, optimizing the flow of fuel, helping to add structural support for the rocket on the pad.
Есть разъем, есть сброс разъема системы измерения. Готовность 1, готовность 2 наши выгнать, 70-й. Доклады принял, первый.
T-minus 1 minute 40 seconds. The ground propellant feed has been terminated. Coming up on the 1-minute mark, Soyuz about to go on internal power. T-minus 1 minute and counting. About 20 seconds away from the first umbilical retracting from the side of the booster.
Vehicle.
Есть переход блока 3-й ступени на бортовое питание. Есть отрыв второго блока 3-й ступени. Есть отрыв холодный объем марководных блока и 70-й.
There's the retraction of the first umbilical.
Есть мачта 30-й.
Standing by for the second umbilical to retract and initiate engine sequence start. Auto sequence initiated, standing by for engine start. We have main engine start.
Launch command issued for ignition.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Engine stop.
Engine ignition and liftoff. Liftoff of Soyuz MS-27. Kim, Ryzhikov, and Zubritsky begin a sprint for a marathon mission on the International Space Station. Good thrust. Soyuz arcing out to the northeast. Good roll, pitch, and yaw program reported.
Thrusters operating nominally.
All first stage engines operating normally according to the engineers at the blockhouse in Baikonur. 40 seconds into the flight. The vehicle parameters are all reported to be stable.
Stable at 40 seconds. Everything nominal on board.
1 minute into the flight, the International Space Station flying directly over the Baikonur Cosmodrome. The Soyuz booster passing through the area of maximum dynamic pressure.
The crew is feeling good.
All vehicle systems reported to be normal.
Параметры системы управления ракетой-носителя в норме.
90 seconds into the flight. First stage performance nominal.
Everything nominal on board. Copy.
About 15 seconds away from first stage separation.
0848, everything nominal on board.
Standing by for first stage separation.
Roll speed yaw, nominal.
First stage separation reported. The symmetrical departure of the strap-on boosters. Second stage up and running.
First stage separation.
Vehicle parameters all are normal according to the engineers at the blockhouse in Baikonur. 2.5 minutes into the flight. "36 miles in altitude, 75 miles downrange from the Baikonur Cosmodrome.
Thrusters operating.
Second stage engines all operating normally.
Copy.
The launch route has now been jettisoned as planned. The second stage shutdown will come at the 4-minute 37-second mark into the flight. Launch occurring on time at 12:47 and 15 seconds a.m. Central Time, 10:47 and 15 seconds a.m. Baikonur time. This view now from a camera on the upper stage of the Soyuz booster. 3 minutes, 20 seconds into the flight, all vehicle parameters continue to operate as planned.
Thrusters operating nominally. And everything nominal on board. The crew is feeling good.
Good control of the vehicle. Five minutes of powered flight remaining.
Nominal flight. Everything nominal on board.
4 minutes into the flight. All vehicle systems reported to be in great shape.
Second stage.
About 25 seconds to go until second stage shutdown.
Nominal on board. The crew is feeling good.
Ryzhikov reports the crew is feeling good.
10 seconds to second stage separation. Copy.
We're standing by for second stage shutdown and separation.
Nominal. Copy.
Third stage oxidizer tank has been pressurized.
Есть отделение второй ступени. Подтверждаю отделение.
Second stage separation confirmed. Everything nominal on board. The crew is feeling good.
That was the third stage lower skirt that was jettisoned as planned. The Soyuz now flying on the power of its third stage engine with about 3.5 minutes of powered flight remaining. All systems continue to operate in excellent fashion.
Двигатель третьей ступени работает нормально.
Third stage engine operation nominal. Copy, and everything nominal on board.
Strapped into their seats in the center section of the Soyuz MS-27, Sergei Ryzhikov, the Soyuz commander, in the center seat, flanked to his left by Alexei Zabritsky, and Johnny Kim of NASA, flanked to Ryzhikov's right.
Roll pitch yaw nominal.
Roll, pitch, and yaw, all reported to be in good shape.
Nominal on board.
A pre-programmed set of maneuvers for the Soyuz 2.1A booster, coming up on the 6.5 minute mark into the flight. 2 minutes and 20 seconds of powered flight remaining. This third stage engine provides 67,000 pounds of thrust for its 4 minutes of operation to place the Soyuz spacecraft into its preliminary orbit.
Vehicle is
coming up on the 7 minute mark in the flight. Mark 7 minutes. All vehicle parameters continue to operate as planned.
Двигатель третьей ступени работает нормально.
Third stage thruster operating nominally. Copy. The crew is feeling good. Everything nominal on board.
Nothing but good reports coming from the Soyuz back to the flight controllers, not only in Baikonur, but there at the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow. 7 minutes, 45 seconds into the flight, 1 minute of powered flight remaining.
Двигатель третьей ступени работает нормально.
Third stage engine operating nominally. Separation expected in 30 seconds.
Eight minutes, 22 seconds into the flight. About 30 seconds of powered flight remaining.
Nominal flight.
A smooth ride uphill so far for Kim, Ryzhikov, and Zabritsky.
And Favore, you may expect
standing by for third stage shutdown and spacecraft separation. And we have third stage shutdown. Third stage shutdown, spacecraft separation confirmed.
Favore, how do you read us? This is Moscow. We read.
And we have confirmation of solar array deploy and navigational antenna deploy as planned.
Spacecraft.
Johnny Kim, Sergei Ryzhikov, Alexei Zabritsky on their way to the International Space Station.
Принято Фаворы, отключаем БИОС-2, РП-1, закрываем РПВ-1-2 и потом приступаем к контролю ТС. РПВ-1, 2, закрыть. Принято.
It is complete. Copy.
Контроль ТС штатно. Выполняем запуск разового контроля КГ.
Принято. Ожидаем замера.
Checkout was nominal. Copy.
Повара-командир может приступать к работе телевидения.
Power,
По
you
36 странице.
may start working per page 36.
Вас понял, разовый контроль запущен. Работа с телевидением.
We started the checkout. TV is on.
Повара, ожидаем от вас первый замер по ОКГ.
So, after a flawless countdown, an uneventful ride uphill for 8 minutes and 46 seconds for Johnny Kim of NASA and Roscosmos cosmonauts Sergei Ryzhikov and Alexei Zubritsky,
Вас понял.
third stage shutdown and spacecraft separation came right on time at the 8-minute 46-second mark into the flight, followed seconds later by solar ray deploy and the unfurling of the navigational antennas that will guide the Soyuz to what is expected to be an automated docking to the Prishal module on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station at about 4:04 a.m. Central Time, 5:04 a.m. Eastern Time.
Indicator mode.
Питание 3 вдусов. Наддув КДУ. Отключаем.
Reduce power.
Принято. Повара, перейдите на input 2 на формат ТВС.
Power, please go to input 2 panel.
And this view, which is the same view as the crew is seeing on board the descent module, showing the display panel that Ryzhikov, Kim, and Zubritsky are looking at. You see in the box on the left-hand side, this is basically the same overlaid video that you'll be seeing in more granular detail a few hours from now when we come back for our rendezvous and docking coverage.
Выполнил переход.
Transition complete.
Повара,
Повар.
команду R18.
Send Romeo 18 command. Go to the backup transmitter. Copy work.
R18 подготовил, выдаем.
Принято.
Ready. Command to send. Copy.
With the ascent having been completed, placing Kim, Zubritsky, and Ryzhikov into their preliminary orbit, next up will be the first in a series of delta velocity burns that is scheduled about 21 minutes from now. This will be a burn of about 24 meters per second to begin to increase the Soyuz's altitude to match that of the International Space Station. At about 1:42 a.m. Central Time, we will move into what are called automated rendezvous operations. The Soyuz will be guided through a series of pre-programmed commands until it reaches the neighborhood of the International Space Station, at which point the Core's automated rendezvous system will guide the Soyuz in for a fly-around of the station that will precisely align the forward docking probe with the Prishal module on the Earth-facing side of the station. Once the fly-around is complete, the Soyuz will stop its motion, put the brakes on, if you will, for a few moments to allow the Russian flight controllers there in Korolyov to measure the alignment of the Soyuz with Prishal before the command will be given for final approach that will result in the docking of Soyuz to Prishal at about 4:04 a.m. Central Time, a little over 3 hours from now.
Powers, Moscow. We cannot copy you.
Повара, ответите.
Powers, Moscow.
Повара, ответите по Москве, мы вас не слышим.
Powers, Moscow. We cannot copy you.
So to recap, after a flawless countdown, the Soyuz MS-27 atop the Soyuz 2.1A booster lifted off on time at 12:47 and 15 seconds a.m. Central Time, 1:47 and 15 seconds a.m. Eastern Time.
Build and local vertical copy. Just give us parameter 17 from Form 3, page 37.
With the Soyuz having been successfully placed into its preliminary orbit, the crew will begin a series of vehicle checkouts before the pre-programmed firings of the Soyuz engine will bring the Soyuz to its docking to the station a little over 3 hours from now. We will be back on the air with our rendezvous and docking coverage at 3:15 a.m. Central Time, 4:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Docking scheduled at approximately 4:04 a.m. Central, 5:04 a.m. Eastern Time to bring Kim, Ryzhikov, and Zabritsky to their new home in space. We'll take a break after docking, and then we'll be back on the air later this morning with our third broadcast in the overnight hours of hatch opening. That will begin at 6 a.m. Central Time, 6 a.m. Central Time, for a hatch opening at approximately 6:20 a.m. Eastern Time. So we'll see you back for those broadcasts as we move along through the course of the night. Once again, a perfect ride to orbit for Johnny Kim of NASA and Roscosmos cosmonauts Sergei Ryzhikov and Alexei Zabritsky. They are on their way on a 2-orbit rendezvous to reach the International Space Station. We'll see you back here a little over 2 hours from now at 3:15 a.m. Central Time with rendezvous and docking coverage. For now, this is Mission Control Houston.
Methylene blue is all the rage. But for my listeners, we've been talking about it for decades. But finally, they've got factories. They've got laboratories that are producing medical, pharmaceutical, USP grade. And so, our sponsor, thealexjonestore.com, has it right now. Very highest quality. I've taken USP grade before, and they claim it's USP grade. It works great. Massive energy, clarity, focus, and let down. This is, I'm actually scared of this. Because I've seen Robert Kennedy Jr. go to 3 times Air Force One.
You are looking live at Launchpad 6, Site 31.
We have the very best methylene blue I've ever had at the lowest price, and it funds the InfoWar, a total 360 win. So get your Ultra, and it is Ultra, methylene blue right now at thealexjonestore.com.